Okay, guys, example number 3, same thing again. It says simplify 2x squared plus x minus 3 over 2 minus x squared. Guys, we've got a number of things that we need to do first. Okay? The first thing we need to do is write that denominator in standard form. So I've got 2x squared plus x minus 3. I've got negative x squared minus x plus 2. So I wrote it in standard form. Does anybody see what I don't like about that right now? What do you think, Aaron? There's a negative in front of the quadratic term on the denominator. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rewrite this again, 2x squared plus x minus 3 over negative, and I'm going to put this in parentheses, x squared, and all the signs change because we took out the negative. All right? Now, guys, you'll remember from first grade that we can take a negative and write it on the bottom, out front, or on top. Okay? Now, I have a fraction that has a negative on the bottom, right here. Okay? But I am actually going to move it now. Whoa. I'm going to move it out front. Now, this fraction's just negative. And then I'm going to deal with these quadratics. Okay? Now, remember, from from the notes, step 1 is we've got to factor the top, the numerator, completely, and factor the denominator completely. Does anyone see what the top factors to? I don't know. I know it's minus 3 and plus 1. What do you think? Does anybody have that one for me yet? We need to do it out, don't we? Okay, let's just write over here to the side. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Before I start let's do that. Factor 2x squared plus x minus 3. I need to factor this thing, and I also need to factor x squared plus x minus 2. All right, let's factor the easy one first. That's going to be x plus 2 and x minus 1. Any questions on that? We see that? These back two, they add to give me positive 1. They multiplied to give me negative 2. Everybody happy with that? You happy with that, Cooper? Okay. Now I need to figure out this top one. And you know, I'm just not as good as you guys are on this. I know that it's going to be negative 1, 3, or 3, negative 1. Or it can be 1, negative 3, and negative 3, 1. Okay. So when I look at that, the first pair gives me 6, negative 1. That's not right. I'm looking for a positive 1. The next one gives me negative 2, 3. That one works, I think. Do you guys agree? That it's this one and this one? Right? Because 2 times negative 1 and 1 times 3, that gives me negative 2 and 3, which gives me positive 1. So the top factors to 2x and x times plus 3 minus 1. All right, so let's write our new equation. New fraction. It's going to be on the numerator, negative, and in the numerator, x plus 2 times x minus 1 over 2x plus 3 and x minus 1. Those crazy teachers. Now, guys, before we cancel, I don't want to lose one of my restrictions. Okay? So I'm going to now look at the denominator and say that 2x plus 3 cannot equal 0, and x minus 1 cannot equal 0. Right? Because I've got two things on the bottom, and neither of them can equal 0, or the whole thing will equal 0. Right, James P? Good. I'm glad you remember that from the last unit. So now I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides here. I'm going to get 2x cannot equal negative 3, and then divide by 2. X cannot equal negative 3 over 2. Here I'm going to add 1 to both sides and get that x cannot equal 1. So my restriction is x cannot equal negative 3 over 2, comma 1. Does anybody see a common factor that I can go ahead and get out of there? Anybody see anything? What do you think, Chase? X minus 1. Gone, gone. And I'm left with negative x plus 2 over 2x plus 3. Great job, guys. I'll see you at the next example.